List the angles of triangle TUV in order from smallest to largest. Smallest is what? Angle T, then what? And then, all right, here we go. Shortest to longest. FH. Anybody have any issues with that? All right, name, oh, this is what I was thinking about. Name the longest segment. Yeah, now don't say LN, right? Yes, I'm just showing you, right? This is 96 degrees, do you agree? So in this triangle, LN is the largest, correct? However, in the other triangle, angle 80 degrees is largest. So that means that LM is greater than LN, even though LN is across from 96 degrees, right? Yes.
In the other triangle, it was like.
You couldn't tell. You're right. You're right. You couldn't tell then. Is everybody with me? All right. In other words, she's saying, which I was going to mention, so I'm glad she did. Like if I didn't know, let's say LK was the largest side. Is there any way to say that LN or LM is the largest now? No, there isn't. They could actually even be what? Equal. LK could be equal to LM. If, for example, this was the largest side, all right, and this is the largest side on this triangle. There's no way, because the hinge theorem does not apply because there's not congruent sides. All right. So think about that, please. All right.
So if like 70 degrees was like 90 degrees or something, would LN be the largest?
Yes. Right. Go ahead.
So I'm confused on like which one's like opposite K cutting, because
Well, look, I've said this before and I understand your confusion, right? If I say, look how easy this is. If I say what's opposite LK, or I'm sorry, what's opposite angle K, what three letters are in the triangle? Right, I'm in triangle KLN. If I ask what's opposite K, what side is opposite K? Automatically LN. If I say what's opposite angle L, KN. It's the other two letters that aren't listed in the angle. Do you hear me on that? So if I said what's opposite angle N, I don't even have to look at the figure. I just know it's what? KL. What's opposite M? LN. What's opposite L? What's opposite N? You see what I'm saying, right? Does that make sense now, right? All right, same thing. If I say, what's opposite segment LN? I just know it's not those two, what? It's not those two letters. It's either angle M or angle K. See what I'm saying now, right? Easy to calculate that. All right. Give me the range here.
15.
No, that's not how you say it. X is,
15.
there we go. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, BD is a median. All right. If BD is a median, if AD is 8, then DE is what? 8. All right, they're just trying to mess with you on that. All right, you have to know what median means. Anybody have any questions with that? All right, here we go. YW bisects XYZ. Therefore what? Yeah, X equals 35. Okay. Now this one I thought was a little annoying. All right, what's the relationship between angle 1 and angle 2? Yeah, this wasn't the one I was thinking about. Angle 2 is what? Right, or angle 1 is what?
how did we know that? Because don't, oh, never.
Hinge theorem, right?
Yeah.
The door is open more.
I just say position.
Well, because why?
Because one of them has nothing and the other has tens.
Well, I know, but that wouldn't work if I said this was 5. Then it wouldn't work. Exactly right. Two sides have to be congruent. Yeah. Well, the third side can't be congruent. Because then yeah, of the two triangles, two sides have to be congruent. All right, two sides have to be congruent. All right. And then you can determine what angle is bigger or what side is bigger based on the angle or the side. All right, here we go. Come on, guys. Centroid. All right. Is it 4-3? Okay. Now remember, the formula for the centroid is the average of the x's and the average of the y's. Okay. I don't mind you doing that. All right. Yeah, I don't mind. All right. However, for the orthocenter, there isn't one. So we practiced this yesterday. So let's practice this one. Hopefully you tried it last night to make sure you could do it. All right. Now, again, all right, when you are drawing the orthocenter, all right, again, it doesn't matter where the points are located. I think personally, sometimes it's easier to draw the triangle and then just visualize where the points are. All right, 5, 2, 2, 1. All right. So if I want to draw this altitude, I need the slope of, and I'm just going to write PR so I can talk about it. All right, I need the slope of PR. What's the slope of PR? Come on, guys. Come on.
1/-3.
2 minus 1, -1 minus 2. We agreed with -1/3.
Y2 minus Y1.
Okay, do y2 minus y1. What's the difference? The slope has to be the same from first point to second point as it is from the second point to the first point. Right? It doesn't matter the order. All right. So if PR is -1/3, then the slope of the perpendicular would equal what? 3. And we're going from what point? 5, 2. So now I have y minus 2 equals 3 times x minus 5. That's one line. Do we agree with that? All right. So now let's find the slope of QR. Slope of QR is equal to what?
1/3.
1/3. Do we agree with that? So then the slope of the perpendicular would be -3. And I need to use what point? Now, this is what I'm saying. This is where you're messing up now if you're not paying attention, right? This is the line we're creating the slope from, correct? So then it has to come from what other point? From P. It has to come from P. Right? We're drawing this over here, the altitude here. So the equation would be what? Exactly. Now type that into the calculator and find the point of intersection if you want.
I got 2 negatives.
Mr. Stroud.
X equals 2. I got 2 -7 also. Sorry. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll show you. Listen, those are 2. All right, listen, guys, I kind of want to be uninterrupted because some people are trying to concentrate. All right, so stop interrupting. Just let me finish. All right, it's not going to take that much longer. All right, so those were 2 out of the 3, correct? So let's say you chose QP. All right, what's the slope of QP? The slope of QP, yes, is 0. So that would have been even easier, correct? Because then it would just be a vertical line, right? So X equals what?
Oh, that's X equals what then?
Right? So if the equation, if this slope was equal to 0, then the slope of the perpendicular would just be what? Would be undefined, which means it's a vertical line. So if it's a vertical line coming from this point, then it's just what?
Y
X equals 2. It's just X. That's a horizontal line. It's a horizontal line. Slopes of horizontal lines are 0. Vertical lines are X equals. Agreed or not?
My drawing just confused me.
That's why I'm saying sometimes it's easier for me just to do the work without plotting all the points, right? If you want to plot the points, I'm totally fine with that.
No.
X equals 2 is the answer. Didn't we say X equals 2?
Oh,
Right? That makes sense, right? X equals 2. It has to be on that line. X equals 2. Right? Now that was easier, right? That was the easiest way to do it. So if you would have graphed it, that would have been easier because you see the horizontal line. All right, then you could have said, well, the horizontal is vertical. What? Well, I don't want you interrupting then. Everybody good with that? All right, let's try 38. All right, they're trying to switch it up here on you a little bit by writing it what? Backwards. BD is congruent to BD. Do we agree? So what's true? Or well, in this case, BC is, yeah, BC. Come on now, guys. I think that's easy. And you know what? On the test, even if you forget the rules, you could be able to look at it and say, it's obvious. All right. All right. So TP must be what? All right, over here. Now remember what it says. Find QA, right? So what does X equal? Therefore, 28. Okay. Now we're talking about the end center. Remember, the end center is all the what? Yes, the end center is the angle bisectors. All right, the angle bisectors. So based off of that, all right, this right here, this angle right there is what? 21. This angle right here is, okay. Now, do we agree the angles of a triangle add up to what? That means all the half angles are going to have to add up to what? 90. So 21 plus 32 is what? So that means this angle right here has to be. Everybody happy with that? Everybody's good? And the end center is equidistant from the what? From the sides. Thank you very much. From here to here. That distance should be the same as this distance. Should be the same as this distance.
That's the centroid.
No. The centroid, if it was the centroid, it would say point A is the centroid. It says point A is the what?
Well, what's the incentive? What's the difference?
Will you tell me what is the difference?
Oh.
All right, so is that good enough for YLA and YGA? Everybody's good with that? All right, here we go. Now, this is the what? P is the what?
Centroid, because it's the X and the Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do I know looking at it that it's the central? They are the what? Medians. Come on, guys, you got to know this. All right. I know it's the centroid because it's what, Benji? It's the medians. How do I know it's the medians? CF is equal to FA. DA is equal to DB. BE is equal to BC. That's what we're talking about. All right. That's how I know it is a centroid. All right. The centroids. Now, is it the orthocenter? No, because it doesn't say anything about perpendicular. Is it the circumcenter? No. All right. It's not the circumcenter. All right. Because it's not perpendicular. Does it say anything about perpendicular? So that's a review of everything. The end center is the angle bisectors. Angle bisectors are equidistant from the sides. The circumcenter is equidistant from the vertices or the points. That's correct. All right. The medians is this one. This is the centroid. All right. Nothing. All right. This figure that we're looking at now is the centroid. All right. So again, just based off of this, if CP is 30, then DP is what? 15. If EP is 18, then PA is 36. If BF is 39, that means PF is 13, and the other one is 26. Just information. And it says BF is 39 up there, if you missed it. All right, here we go. Lines S, T, and U are perpendicular bisectors. So if they're perpendicular bisectors, that means it's what? Yeah, it is the circumcenter. All right, it is the circumcenter. All right. So that means from J to G. What? What's the matter?
I was just asking.
I don't want you asking them. What do you want?
I was just asking if circumcenter or.
What is, do you know the difference between the four yet?
I did.
Okay, so tell me the ones that you know. Let's do that.
Centroid
Yes.
is from the angle to the median. Or like to the bisect,
Midpoint.
to the midpoint, and then. I thought the orthocenter was the perpendicular bisect,
Nope.
so that's the circumcenter,
The circumcenter is the perpendicular bisectors.
and the orthocenter is, from the angle to a perpendicular.
To the side, perpendicular to the side. That's the altitude. Or it's called the height. Those are the altitudes, or the heights is the orthocenter.
Okay.
Right? The perpendicular bisectors. What is true about the perpendicular bisectors? They meet at the what?
I don't know.
At the circumcenter.
Oh.
And the circumcenter is equidistant from the what? Vertices. From the vertices. The end center is equidistant from the sides. These are the things we just have been going over and over and over. So what's true about JG and JH? What's true about JG and JH?
Are they equal?
They have to be equal. And even if I didn't know, I would just put they're equal
Why?
because I don't know. What else would I do with those two things? So what would come to mind is what I'm asking you. Let's say you're taking the test tomorrow and this is a question, you forgot how to do it. You don't know what to do.
They're equal.
You just put they're equal. All right. What else are you going to do with those two? You can't set them equal, add them up and set them equal to something. Right? The relationship of the perpendicular bisectors, it forms the circumcenter. The circumcenter is equidistant from the vertices. So in this case, if okay, so JG is how much?
2x plus 2.
And GH is what? And they're equal. I don't even know what that, oh. It's for this equation down here. Yeah, I was very confused. All right. All right, so these are all the perpendicular bisectors. All right, so because of that, we know that this is equal to this, which is equal to this. We all agree. So H,
How do we know?
JF is how much? JF is equal to 8, therefore JH has to equal what? And JG has to equal what? 8. Sorry, I need to fix that.
Because they're the bisectors. The 2y minus 2.
Yeah, they're all equal to 8. 2x plus 2 equals 8, and 2y minus 2 equals 8. And then where is Z at? Oh, HI, yes. And what does HI have to be? 11, correct? HI is 11. Oh my goodness. So Z has to equal what? 7. And X is equal to 3, and Y is equal to 5.
Did we know this G, H, J, and JF are equal to each other? Because they're bisectors.
I don't understand how that's exactly what we're talking about. We are the 3 perpendicular bisectors. So the 3 perpendicular bisectors is the circumcenter, and the circumcenter is equidistant from the angles.
Well, perpendicular means they meet at a right angle. It doesn't, none of them have a right angles.
We'll put the right angle sign in there. I don't care. Put the right angle sign in there. Right angle. Right angle, right angle. The whole point is you're supposed to gather that information from the fact that they tell you it's perpendicular bisectors. The 3 perpendicular bisectors form the circumcenter, which is equidistant from the vertices. All right, let's look at 50. CAD is 28. CD is 9. BC is 9. Therefore, CAB has to be what? 28. And they might ask you for DAB, right? Just double it. 28 degrees. All right, here we go. Okay, so what is G called? The what? Centroid. FG is 7. So AG is XW is an angle bisector. XW is an angle bisector for X, Y, Z. So that means, wait a minute, XW is an angle bisector for angle X. Well, that can't be right. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just saying XW is an angle bisector. XW is an angle bisector, so that means mark your figure. This is equal to this. Measure of angle X, Y, Z is 5x plus 1. X, Y. This angle down here is 5x plus 1. WXY. This angle right here. What am I saying? WXY. Oh, is this angle right here? That's 3x minus 2, right? All right. And then XY, XZY. This angle right here is 15x. So we can solve for x, right? We can solve by x because this angle right here is what?
3x-2.
Okay. So now what can I do to figure out what x is? Yeah, add them all together and make them 180. So 15, 20, is that 26x? Minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3, is that right? Is that right? 26x minus 3 equals 180.
Oh, no.
And so what is x?
7.03.
So 183 over 26. Does that reduce? I don't think so.
Yes, it does.
What to what? Yes,
I just see 5x plus 1 equals 15.
5x plus 1.
5x plus 1 equals what?
How do we know that? I don't think we know that, do we?
Is it?
No, I'm asking. Right, in order for that to be true, they'd have to tell you this is equal to this. Do we agree? Does that make sense?
Wouldn't you need
And they don't tell us that. Do we agree? So I don't think that's correct. And what were you saying now?
No.
All right, do we agree that x was 183 over 26, right? So now what you're going to do, since we know that x is 183 over 26, is do this and figure out, calculate what those two angles are. So those two angles are, do we agree, 7x minus 1? So multiply that by 183, or substitute 183 over 26 in. Oh, I'm sorry, 8x. Thank you. It's 8x. All I did was I just add these two angles, 3x minus 2 and 5x plus 1. So it's not, so that's not an altitude, correct? Because this is not 90.
Yes, 732.
Do we agree that that's not 90? These two would have to add up. You see what I'm saying? Those two have to add up to 90. And 3x minus 2 plus 5x plus 1 doesn't add up to 90 degrees. Look, some of you guys now, I think you're just sitting there, you're letting me do all the work. I'm showing you everything and you're just nodding your head like, man, that's good. All right. You're not trying them. If you're not trying them, it's not going to be easy tomorrow. What?
Once you get 732 don't you have to do -1 because it's 3x minus 2?
That's what I said. 8x minus 1. Multiply 8x minus 1. Substitute 183 over 26 in for x.
And
Does
then
that come out to be 90?
altitude is 90. Okay.
Yes. It's not 90 degrees, correct? I don't really care what it is, right? It's just not 90. If it was 90, then it would be an altitude. Agreed?
Perpendicular.
The altitude is the line of the orthocenter.
It's just, yes. This is the altitude, sometimes called the height.
Right.
It's really silly.
Oh, 'cause it's
The
how
difference.
tall the tri-
Yeah, how tall the triangle is. Or we could say it's the height.
how tall it is.
Yes, much more sense. I agree. All right, 53. So now we know this right here. WZX is 49 and 52. Therefore, what is true? Exactly. All right, here we go. It says 3 children are playing. Let's see if you understand now. 3 children are playing a game on the playground. They stand on the playground facing each other. They want to place the ball on the playground so that it's equidistant from each of the 3 children. Describe the position of the ball.
In the middle.
Circumcenter. Yes, just go ahead and put in the middle. All right, go ahead.
Cause you can cut the ball is the circle and it makes a circle. Right?
Yeah, brilliant information. Thank you. I have no idea what you said.
Cause the ball is a circle.
No, no, you're equidistant from the 3 people on the playground. If you're equidistant from the 3 people on the playground, here is point A, point B, point C. If you want to place the ball exactly in the middle of all 3 kids, you would do what? You would find the perpendicular bisector.
You wouldn't find the centroid.
You might. I'd like the right answer though.
Why wouldn't you find the centroid?
Because the centroid is not equidistant from the vertices. What?
Oh, from the sides.
The centroid is not equidistant from the sides even. No.
Oh.
Incenter is equidistant from the side. That's why, as I was telling the people earlier, if you don't know, write it down. We've done it bunches of times now. You're expected to be able to talk about what the centroid, the incenter, the circumcenter, and the orthocenter are. Right? You want the ball placed in the middle of the 3 kids. All right. So if you want the ball in the middle of the 3 kids, construct the perpendicular bisectors. That will put the ball in the middle. All right. All right, here we go. Centroid again, just for more practice. WN is 32. So if WN is 32, what is NT? All right, if WC is 50, then what is WA? And what is AC? Exactly. Now, if I wanted to find TC, how in the world am I going to find TC? Knowing that if WN is 32 and NT is what? And WC was how much? How do I figure out what TC is? Solve for what?
I was gonna say triangle TCW, but
Yes, how do I do that? That is correct.
that was the part I was trying to.
Oh, you could do, why not CTW? You could do,
Yes,
2 plus 6.
yes, 32 plus 16 is what? 48. That is a right triangle. So if I wanted to find the other leg of a right triangle, I can do what? A squared, thank you, plus B squared equals C squared.
Squared plus.
So I think after all that is, it's 14. So A squared plus 48 squared equals 50 squared.
You can't do 50 squared plus 48 squared equals C squared.
Which one is the hypotenuse?
50
Correcto.
is hypotenuse.
So A squared equals 50 squared minus 48 squared. A squared is equal to, I think that's 196. Square root of 196, I think is 14. Is that correct? Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, you're right. Cool beans.
All right, so that was kind of tricky just because you had to remember the A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Look that over. All right, the range of possible values here. Okay, so this one I think is important. So let's look at this real quick. All right, so do we agree, according to the Hinge theorem, that 6x minus 12 has to be what? 6x minus 12 has to be what? Greater than 72. Does everybody agree? But it also has to be less than what? It has to be less than 180. So 6x minus 12 has to be less than 180, but greater than what? So that's how I want you to write it.
X. So if X is 72, then that would not.
I didn't say x was 72.
Find the range of possible values of X.
That's what I'm doing.
I know, but if we're 6 times 72 minus 12.
Well, who said 6 times 72?
Okay, fine. 6 times 73 minus 12. It's because X is big too. But if you actually plug one of the numbers in.
Yeah, listen, hey, listen, I appreciate what you're saying. Listen to me carefully now. This angle right here has to be greater than 72. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that or not? I'm trying to help you, right? So that has to be greater than 72. Do you agree? So that angle is called 6x minus 12. That's what I think you're making a mistake on.
But it's asking for X. Like,
I'm not done solving it yet. I'm not done solving it. I'm saying 6x minus 12 has to be greater than 72, but it also has to be less than 180. Does that make sense now? All right, so now we add 12, right? 84, 6x, 192. Do we agree? So x has to be less than, what is that? 30 what? And greater than 14.
But we didn't get rid of the, oh, never mind.
What?
Do you have to edit in that one then?
I want the answer. This is the answer. How else would you want me to write it?
I thought you said like.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm trying to review with you. Last year, we did compound inequalities. That's kind of what we're reviewing. All right, let's try one more just to make sure you're good. All right, so what's true about 57? Okay, now we got to be careful here. 5x minus 15 must be what? must be greater than 10. Do we agree with that? But do we agree it can't be like 100? Do we agree? Because that means this side would be greater than, it's got to be less than the sum of these two. So it's got to be 5x minus 15 has to be less than the sum, correct? Less than 27, but greater than what? But greater than 10.
Less than the sum of what?
The two sides of the triangle. We did that up here, guys. All of this work up here, we did. It's the same information, just a different problem. The third side, right? The third side is always what? What's the third side? Less than the sum and greater than the difference. There you have it. Less than the sum and greater than the difference. But in this case, there's just a special problem because it has a relationship with this third triangle. So it has to be greater than 10. Agreed? So now add 15. What do I get? And now we divide by 5. There we have it. All right, let's try one more. Well, two more actually. Okay. So. Yeah, I'm not, so it has to be what? 7x minus 17 has to be less than 11. Yeah, this one was a little bit harder because how do I know what it's greater than? Yeah, it can't be 0, correct? What? Well, it could be 0.5.
131.
Greater than 0. That's what we say, greater than 0. Right, so this has to be greater than 0. All right, guys. Review. The what?
Yeah, the answer, and also review.